Hey guys, Martin here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today I thought we'd make this video going over some stuff to do with this anniversary versus the previous anniversary. Not so much to compare the two and try and, come up with a distinction of like which one is better or anything like that, but more so focused on the amount of content and the release schedule of said content, because I've noticed that there's a lot of people in the last few days, whether it's been comments on videos, people in streams, a lot of people saying that this anniversary feels dead or feels a bit dull, and I do think personally that that is largely due to the way Dokkan always handles releases during these big celebrations, where they dump a ton of content all on one day and then they don't release anything for like a few days at a time. And obviously, we always talk about for various different events, things like the World Tournament, all these kind of things, right? Dokkan is a mobile game, and there are a lot of people that will play the game maybe like 20 to 30 minutes a day, maybe an hour, maybe two. And so, when they drop like 5 different events, some of them with multiple stages all on one day, that could be a week's worth of content for some people. But obviously, if you're somebody who, the anniversary starts, you log in on the first day, all these events come out. You can see here we're using the JP version because the global timeline hasn't been updated on the wiki. We do have the news info up here on my phone as well, so we can double check some of the stuff that has been a little bit different. But yeah, all these events come out. So if you just do all of these on the first day, then obviously there's nothing else to do in the game for a few days until some more stuff comes out. But I wanted to take a look back to the 8th anniversary and just have a look at the spread of content, just to see how the two match up. Because obviously when the 9th anniversary happened on JP, maybe it's due to the fact that the units themselves are so good. The EZAs were really good. People really liked the Blue Zone and stuff like that. But it was, I thought, universally agreed that like the 9th anniversary has basically been the best celebration in the game so far, at least when it happened on JP. Now, there's been some minor changes to Global. Like where we are today, that Memorable Battles movie edition thing came out with the Broly and Gogeta stage, where you can get some extra stones. You can get EX skill orbs for Gogeta. On JP, that event came out, I think, a day or two later, but JP had already gotten a couple of EZAs like a few days before, which for some reason Global has not gotten yet. And we've still not had a news update or a data download to say when that stuff will be. So if we take a look at the anniversaries here, obviously for JP, we got the new units and obviously the new events. There's the Battlefield, there's the Daily Skill Orb event, which is for movie bosses, the free-to-play character events, the release of the Blue Zone, the last couple of stages for the Red Zone for movie bosses 2, the Hit Domain event, which obviously on JP only released with one stage, Boss Rush, and then the Support Memory event. So that was everything came out in one day. And then obviously we did not get any more content until for JP it was the Broly Trio EZA, which was like a week after the banners, and then a couple of days later the movie battle event came out, which is what we got come out today. If we look back to the 8th anniversary, but we actually do look at the global version, so the anniversary started on the 7th. We actually got the units on the 7th rather than having to wait for the banners. But obviously we got the Dokkan events, we got the Shadow Dragons event, the start of this with the first few turns. I guess the equivalent of this is the Blue Zone, I guess, really. The free-to-play events, right, for the Barbody and for the Hercule, which we've obviously got. Then we have the Super Warrior event that had some support memory stuff. We had the Daily Skill Orb. This was for Power of Wishes, so obviously the equivalent of that is the movie bosses. And then the Intense Training thing. This was just a very easy like tutorial mission that gave a bunch of stones. So in terms of the numbers of events, we pretty much have the same stuff here. The Blue Zone would replace like the Shadow Dragon event. In terms of these other couple events, like the Super Warrior Memorial and the Offense-Defense Training, we've obviously got like the Hit Domain event, which did come out with 2 stages. We did have the Support Memory Boost one as well. And then obviously getting the final 2 Red Zone stages of a previous Red Zone is another 2 stages that gave some stones, tickets, a support memory with like the Beerus one. So in terms of the stuff that dropped immediately on part 1, we're looking at roughly the same stuff. Now Global did the same thing they've done this time, where we waited like a couple of days and then we got the anniversary special Battlefield. We also got this special Spirit Bomb event, whereas obviously for Global for this anniversary, we had all the stuff drop on day 1, then we waited a few days to get the Memorial Battlefield, and then it was, because that dropped on, I think it was the Wednesday, right? And then, was it the Wednesday? And then we had to wait until today for this movie battle event thing. So Battlefield, well, they've still got all the countdown info in here. Scrolled way too far. Yeah, that came out Wednesday, with the banners having come out on the Tuesday. At least this is in UK time, right? Of course. So it was only the day after we got the Memorial Battlefield. We also got a boss rush, which we didn't get, at least in the first part here. Was there one further down? Was there no boss rush in the anniversary? I mean, the boss rush, I guess, could take the place of something like this, right? This Goku event was a pretty easy 30 stones. Boss rush is basically an easy 35 stones. So I guess that kind of takes its place. Now, the major difference is, a couple of days later, we got the first 2 EZAs of the anniversary, which is the Physical Super Vegito and the STR Buhan. And this is where the big difference comes in for Global, which is kind of strange that they've done it this way, where, like on JP, as I already said, we count down these 7 days after the start with the banners. We got the Broly Trio EZA with these 2 sub EZAs. And this stuff here, if the banner came out on the 7th, this was like 5 days later, we got the first EZAs of the anniversary. So going by the way the stuff came out on JP, we should have got these EZAs for the part 1, like the Broly Trio. We should have got these either today or potentially even a couple of days ago. It came out on the banners came out on the 9th. So I guess the fact that the banners came out later is what's delayed the content. I thought that the Broly Trio EZA was potentially going to be coming out tomorrow, but we've had no data download and nothing in the news about it, which makes it seem unlikely that it's going to just drop tomorrow without any previous warning, which is a bit strange. So this was 2 EZAs. Now, whilst the first EZAs of the 9th anniversary are 3 EZAs, it is only 1 Extreme Z battle, so it's less stones, and the 2 sub EZAs are still good, but they're not like Dokkan Fest exclusive EZAs, right? And then we have the movie battle event that came out today. I guess you could say that's like the equivalent of the Spirit Bomb event, right? Had a couple of stages. And then we started getting the extra stages for the part 2 stuff. We had an Infinite Dragon Ball History. We had the Awakenings for these guys. We had new stages for the Shadow Dragon event. Now, obviously, this is a good, like, almost 2 weeks after the banners dropped for the 8th anniversary. So we're not up to that point yet. This is where it happened on JP and the 11th. So this was about 13 days. So roughly about the same. When the free-to-play TUR gets its awakening, the free-to-play LR awakens into an LR. We get more stages of the Blue Zone, which obviously corresponds with here, getting more stages of the Dragon event. And then we did get another EZA. And of course, the login card got an EZA as well, which we did not get last year during the 8th anniversary. So far, the EZAs not being out is the major difference. But in terms of everything else, the amount of content is the same. The biggest issue, I think, is this section here, and why, for some reason, we've now gotten this event today, but on JP, 3 days before this event came out, we got these EZAs. Now, obviously, in terms of content, like an Extreme Z battle, especially an LR one, which is only 10 stages, it's not going to take super long to get this done. The sub EZAs, it's a bit annoying, I guess, to have to refarm those medals with the stamina, but you can actually get those done in advance. Like if you've got nothing to do today in the game, you can pre-farm these medals. Marseillan ones for Bardock and Guinea, AGL Raffle Broly for Broly and Paragus. But yeah, them skipping this part out, or at least moving it until slightly later, is very confusing. Because then we're still, you know, we want to get this EZA, and then like less than a week later, we got the physical Goku and Vegeta EZA. So we obviously don't want that EZA being pushed back because we haven't got the Broly Trio one yet. But yeah, we then got the, we got all these part 2, the free-to-play awakenings and stuff like that. Then we got 2 more EZAs. So obviously we got, technically we are getting 2 EZAs, but it's a summonable LR and then the login card. Whereas this was a summonable LR and the Blue Kaioken Goku, who were very, very good on their EZA. Then we started to move into the part 2 stuff. So we had a burst mode, the medley event with the OST stuff, and then the part 2 LRs. And then in this anniversary, obviously the same thing. We get the banners, we get the 2 more stages to the movie event. So I guess that's kind of the equivalent of getting like a new event like this OST one. Getting the part 2 LRs, getting the Dokkan event for Beast Gohan. And then it was a few days after that, we then had all the EZAs for the free-to-play characters, more stages for the Blue Zone, and then of course the 6-year LR EZAs. We then have the superhero event and a burst mode, whereas for here we got the Extreme Z area for the free-to-play character, the Shadow Dragon stages, and then a chain battle. So the equivalent here is we're getting the burst mode and this superhero event. The LR EZAs from the previous anniversary obviously rolled over a little bit into the next part of the anniversary here for Global, which was the Tech, Vegito, and STR Gogeta, and then they came with a burst mode as well. And then the very final thing was the anniversary battle with the skill orbs for the Buu duo and the 8-year duo. So these guys get their EZA, Beerus gets his EZA, Frieza gets his EZA, and then the last part of the anniversary for JP was of course these guys getting their EZA, which is going to be very interesting for Global because we already have these EZAs. So we will have to get something else in its place. We still have no idea what that's going to be, whether it's going to be the Universe 7 and Golden Frieza and 17. I think that'll be an awesome one. Or it could even be a Global first, because that happened with a previous anniversary, the one before this one. I think if we go to the 7th anniversary and go to March, wait, are we on JP? Oh, we're on JP here still. 7th anniversary and go to August, it will be. We got the Full Power Goku EZA, which was a global first because we'd already gotten the GT Goku and Vegeta Jr. So you can see here, JP got them, got the EZAs for the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Global got the EZAs for the LR Super Saiyan 4s, but already had Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr., so we got the EZA for Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So when you look over the actual number of events with the different stages, the amounts of stones you can get, even the number of days between the release of the events, the 9th anniversary is not really any different from the 8th anniversary. We got basically the same amount of content. Obviously, arguably the EZAs from this anniversary, even though we may have got less in total for like Dokkan Fest exclusives and stuff like that, the EZAs in this anniversary I would say are way better because they're all very, very good, especially with like, you know, the UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta EZA that's going to be coming. So I think the biggest problem, like I said, is this period that we're in now would have been much nicer, like broken up by having that Broly Trio EZA drop maybe on like Friday or towards the end of last week, because it really feels like the banners came out on Tuesday, the special battlefield came out on Wednesday, and then we didn't get any more new content for the rest of the week. So obviously if you're someone who got on and did a lot of that stuff straight away when it came out, then you know you've had the whole last part of the week with nothing really to do. So I think they should have just gone ahead and dropped the Broly Trio EZA on Friday. I don't know why they didn't do that. And as I say, at this time of recording, we still don't know. I mean, by the time this video goes up, because I'm recording it in the morning, maybe we'll have gotten some news later today, but I'm not expecting it until early tomorrow now. But overall, when you look at the list of all of the things that we got, you know, this anniversary is in no way like quieter or drier on content, or however you want to say, compared to previous ones. I think it's just the fact that on Global, for whatever reason, they've changed the release schedule of a couple of the events by a few days, and it's kind of left this weird gap, which ideally for an anniversary you don't want, right? We say this all the time about big celebrations, even smaller celebrations, is I have always said and will continue to say, like, don't drop like 8 events on day one. Drop like 2 or 3 events on day 1, drop another 1 or 2 on day 2, then maybe drop another couple on day 4. Like, just drip feed the content a little bit better. Because if you're someone who only plays it a little bit every day, it's not going to matter because you've still got those little bits to do each and every day. Whereas if you are somebody who gets into the hype, wants to jump on and do all the stuff that comes out in one day, you've got a couple of things to do on the first day, you can get your characters awakened and everything, then you've got a couple of things to do on the next day, and you don't find yourself, because some people will just do it all because it's there, right? Whereas if it's not all there on the first day, you kind of have to pace the content a little bit, and then that makes it feel like it lasts longer. So in terms of the amount of content, the 9th anniversary definitely is not like dead, as I've seen some people say. I think it is just the big issue with them delaying the Broly Trio EZA has left kind of like a weird gap towards the end of last week, which makes it feel a little bit slow. But this week, for the rest of the week, we should have a bunch of stuff coming out, and hopefully that will kind of revitalize the anniversary a little bit for people. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you somebody that gets everything done super quick, and so the last part of last week has felt very quiet? Are you somebody who does a little bit here and there every day, so you've still found you've had a ton of stuff to do? Let me know all your thoughts on how the 9th anniversary is going and what you think it is like compared to the previous anniversaries. Let me know in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.